Hi pals, it is me, Artie, Ben Rounds only. I'm just giving a little roundup, update, feedback. I don't know, letting you know how the market went. Also, I have just had a fresh haircut yesterday a la my mother, so thanks mum. I did write up a little brief overview for my coffee members, so if you want to get behind the scenes stuff before other public places, Ko-fi, become a member. But yeah, basically I covered my I had such low standards and low expectations going in. I just wanted to cover the cost of the table, my travel, and then maybe covering the snacks, food, drinks sort of things that I had as well. And I did that. I covered that and quite a bit more. I'm not going to be too specific with how much I ended up with after expenses, but I did work that out, and that is again all available on Ko-fi. So the expenses that I came across were PayPal fees, because some people who paid by PayPal didn't pay by friends and family, so I would lose about 45p per £5 sale. Yeah, I bought a couple of snacks at the station before getting the bus down because I knew I would need some more sustenance. I also treated myself to a Starbucks afterwards. The table cost was £10. I also had to pay for my single train ticket and one bus fare, which is maybe £8-ish. I'm not quite sure exactly, but around there. And then I bought a couple of things from other people at the stalls, so I spent £20 buying some things, and I'm going to put that under expenses. So yeah, my general thoughts, I went in with the idea of oh, I have a bunch of very different kinds of creative pieces, different kinds of creative projects, and I wanted to see what the interest was generally across the board for everything. I also used a pay-as-you-feel / sliding scale suggested prices kind of mode of payment, just to, again, partly to see what people could afford or were willing to pay for my work. Majority of the time I was paid what I asked, and then a few other times people said that I was underselling myself and paid more. And I thought that was interesting because a lot of the pieces that I've had that I was told I was underselling myself for were things that have been up for sale for a long time online, and just haven't had the traction or interest really at all. And I also kind of just wanted to get to this makers market to also just find new homes for all of these creative pieces I've made. I wasn't super bothered about how much they all went for. So yeah, it was just interesting to kind of be told that I should either up my prices or stay firm in some of my prices. Yeah, it was just a nice bit of feedback. I sold about a quarter of the collage pieces that I have numbered. I think I had around 83 or 4. I don't know if I took them all with me, but that's as many as I'd numbered. And I think I sold 21 pieces, all for asking price. I sold 2 of the painted tops. I sold my first ever painted one, which was Chronically Fucked. I sold that right near the end as well. And then I sold one of my more recently painted ones, which said Pleasure and Abundance. So keeping a note of what people are gravitating towards. Also both sold at asking price. I sold my glitter merperson piece that's as well has been up for sale for quite a long time online. Yeah, I had a sliding scale for it at the market from £20 to £40. It sold at 20, but they also said they wanted to pay me more when they had more funds. So who knows? They were also interested in commissioning a piece. There are a few other people who were interested in possibly commissioning a painted t-shirt as well, which was cool. And I think there was one person interested in a collage piece possibly being commissioned as well, because I didn't have a specific slogan that they would have liked to see there. And yeah, I sold another old painting that I just sort of brought with me to see what would happen, and that sold for £10 when I was asking like 3 to 5 because again, that was a really old piece. I've had that for quite a long time and just kind of added to it here and there over the years. Things that people were interested in but didn't buy. I had a lot of interest on the little home decor signs, but yeah, none of them sold. I had quite a bit of like interest in the bookmarks, which surprised me because it was just like a random, oh, I've just got some like leftover materials, I'll make some bookmarks. So I sold 2. They were pay as you feel as well anyway, but I was like, oh yeah, you're buying other stuff, so I'm really not too bothered about how much you pay for the bookmarks. I ended up using them towards the end of the day as sort of like a calling card, because I wrote my Instagram handle on them because I ran out of flyers. So I came home with a few less, but I only technically sold 2. I sold 1 blackout piece, but I had a few people looking at them as well, and a few conversations around the blackout poetry kind of pieces, which was interesting. I sold 2 out of 3 of the secondhand badges I brought with me. I had a little section of like secondhand items, so I'm glad that 2 out of 3 of those have gone. People were also quite interested in the glitter calming jars. I only brought 1. Again, it was just to see what people thought. I only had 1 left out of ones I've made in the past. And I've mentioned that I am hoping to do a workshop making them with people to sort of raise money for queer theatre, maybe queer other things. I noticed people like shuffling through the pile of my art pieces, the collage pieces. People actually did like the very DIY feel of them. After the market, I now have a very clear list of what people are interested in slogan wise, which I'm also posting on Instagram. I don't know whether it will be up already by the time this is up or whatever, but yeah, I put up a post of all of the slogans that sold, and it was just really telling where our mind is at as a queer community in the UK. But yeah, so I can use that list as well to kind of inform more pieces that I create, and as well as other people's like thoughts and feedback and commission ideas as well. I did hand out all of my flyers. All of them were gone, which was pretty cool. So that means that I don't even know how many flyers I had technically, but somewhere between 20 and 30 maybe. So that's like 20 to 30 people with my details. They found it very interesting. Someone was interested in hiring me for sensitivity reading, because that was also on my flyer. Yeah, and again, I handed them out to be like, I'm open to commissions for people who were interested in the glitter art piece as well. Yeah, so I handed them out when people were showing interest in products but maybe were a bit either overwhelmed with their choice, like for the collage pieces. So I'd be like, hey, I do sell them online, or you can always email me and ask about it and whatever. I handed them out when people were interested in the t-shirts and other bits and pieces, blah blah blah. And then there were a few people interested as well in my email tarot card readings, which I used to do a bunch years ago, but it kind of filtered out. Don't know why, but yeah, I use it as like a list of all of the services and goods that I provide, make, whatever. Then the other side is all of my like links and stuff like that. I think it's just quite a helpful general where to find me, who I am, what I do. And they are very, very basic, very, very DIY, just using WordPress, Word documents with just listing them and then double printing on old coloured paper I've got, and then just ripping them in half. So yeah, I need to print more of those for next time. I'm glad that those all went, because that was positive. Hopefully it means that I will get some online sales or commissions later on. Quite a few people there were only selling by PayPal and cash. So that was relatively easy. Most people could do one or the other. I don't know, the Wi-Fi or the data was very slow in that area. Not sure why, but things would take a little while to actually come through, but everything did come through okay. And then I was actually like really conveniently sat between two people I already knew as well, so it was quite nice that I was at least sat next to people I already have like a relationship with and can chat to. But as well, everyone else there was really nice. I tried to have like a walk around, but I had to do it in like sections because there were moments of it being quite busy, hectic and loud, and then moments where it was quite quiet. So I'd try and use the quiet times to go to the toilet, eat some food, walk around and have a look and chat to the other creators as well. I sent a few photos of stalls to a friend of mine, well, actually a few friends of mine, being like, you would probably like this store. You would probably like these people's like artwork. And then one of my friends did just appeared in front of me, and she did in fact walk around and buy art off of, or like bought stuff off of every stall. I also finally got to meet okay, I'm overthinking this, but it's the Zine co-founders, creators, and they were really nice. Had a lot of really great like conversations with them. Here it is. I bought the Zine off of them. The first Zine, I think it was. So yeah, they were really nice, very excited. They also, everyone was very like helpful there and sort of exchanging knowledge and information. Like the the art Zine people were telling me about like there was Monique was so complimentary of my collage art pieces. Yeah, she said that she thinks I do really well on Etsy. I was just kind of like,
I don't want to do Etsy. That sounds like lots of things to think about.
And they agreed with me, like, oh yeah, it is a bit of a pain in the ass to work with Etsy. So there was another like a thing I was going to say there, but I've already forgotten what it was. Something to do with being helpful to each other. Oh yeah, Monique also was like giving lots of suggestions with like insurance and stuff like that. So yeah, I think being there and meeting other people was a great way to kind of like find out other things that maybe I have no idea about, but also sharing my knowledge of things, because the person at the stall next to me, Justine, is a friend of one of my friends and she's not super online. This was sort of like her first dip into selling her like art projects and stuff. So I gave her some helpful information of like how to post things on Instagram and to use Canva, because it's free, and once you kind of get used to it you can do all that sort of thing. I told her about Ko-fi as well, because yeah, it's quite a useful space, I think, Ko-fi, because it's one-off donations, you can sell stuff in the shop section, and setting up like Patreon like monthly tiers. I just find the interface is a lot easier to use than Patreon ever has been for me. So yeah, I suggested that as well if she's not super keen on delving into like Etsy and stuff like that like me, because the only fees with Ko-fi are PayPal fees. Well, turns out I lied. There are some fees, but you know, better than others, because you have to connect to PayPal. I think currently that's the only way of receiving funds through Ko-fi is PayPal, and that's fine for now, but yeah, you know. So yeah, it was just nice to be able to share some of that. I also offered to like give people some of my like wrapping materials, because
I have many. I am a hoarder. Where did this all come from? I don't know.
Help. So like if I can help other people by also like getting rid of some bugging stuff, absolutely fine, love, you know. So and yeah, I was at the other side of me was Riley, who I know through Queerter, and they sort of suggested, oh well, maybe next time we can go halves on a payment card machine, and we can kind of share this payment card machine for any future kind of markets and fairs and things like that, which is probably very helpful. I also think the market I went to was great for a lot of reasons. That they'd made it smaller this time versus last time, and a lot of the other smaller independent kind of markets like this tend to squeeze in as many people as possible and have really tiny tables. So actually getting there and having like a whole massive table was pretty great, especially for the reasons I went there for, is to kind of showcase everything I have and just be like, hi. So yeah, that was really great. And the fact that it was only £10 as well for the table, I think that in the future I would happily share a table with someone as well, because I don't necessarily think I would always need a full table, especially if I maybe go forward only selling more like print like things and like collage art pieces, because I can't imagine that I'm always going to have or be able to bring lots of stuff. So a smaller table or a half table will probably be suitable for other times. So yeah, I can definitely split the table with some of the people I met there, or even my friend who turned up, because she has her own business as well, that's been put on pause for a while, but we've talked about doing markets together just out of like general interest and curiosity. It was nice to be given a very big table for only £10, whereas lots of other more mainstream markets are more money. Yeah, more money and less table space for a lot of them, so that was nice. And as I said, they'd actually not had so many people because it was just one room. Apparently whenever the construction is done, they would have a lot more space as well, so they could have more market stalls. But yeah, it was nice that the one that I came to actually was a lot smaller, because I think it would have been way too overwhelming, but I'm glad I did that. I know kind of things to prepare for next time as well. I think as well, generally, even if it is just my table, it's helpful to have more than one person to manage the table, and especially as a disabled chronically ill person, someone who can like fetch snacks and treats and things like that for you, man the table when you need the toilet, you know, that sort of thing. But as I said, luckily I was put between two people I knew, so I didn't mind too much. And then towards the end, my friend who'd turned up actually like sat behind my stall with me because I had 2 seats, and yeah, kind of helped with the end of the day selling stuff. And luckily she came because our car broke down, so we needed her to help us jump start the car to even get home. But yeah, I also was like, the way I prepared it was I got a train in to town and then a bus part the way, to then walk the rest of the way, with the plan of coming home by car with my mum, who was also like kind of in the area but like later on in the day. And I'm glad I did that, because oh my god, my body hurt so much. It was like about halfway through the day was where I started to flag with like pain and feeling quite overwhelmed with the noise and stuff. It was manageable and I got through it, and as soon as I had a lay down and took some of my painkillers, I mean I took painkillers during the day, don't get me wrong, but like it was kind of as soon as I laid down and had like a good night's sleep, I felt a lot better the next day, which was I'm very pleased about, because oh my god, just the post-exertional malaise is just bullshit, so I'm glad that it was reasonably minimal. But yeah, I think that's kind of everything about the market, my experience. I would definitely want to do it again. I would probably be happy to return to the same place. I'm also interested in looking at going to other smaller independent markets as well, but I know a lot of them still need things like insurance, so I will be looking into insurance at some point, but we'll see. I'm still very early on in the selling my art market kind of vibe energy that I need a bit of convincing, you know, before I spend money on insurance. But I might need insurance for other reasons anyway, so if I can find one that isn't super expensive and kind of covers everything, then, especially becoming like officially self-employed this year, I have to
finish filling out the paperwork, admin stuff. I hate it. I have ADHD. I don't want to do it.
So yeah, that's the vibe at the moment. I definitely came back with a much emptier suitcase. I brought about £40 in change as well for the float. I had like £20 of 5 notes and then £20 of £1 coins, and I only really had to use the £5 notes by the time I needed to use any smaller change. Enough people had already been and bought stuff, so that was a non-issue. I actually used all of my paper bags that I brought. I only bought 3, but by giving them to my friends. I gave one to a friend who popped in and was buying a few bits and pieces and needed a bag for one of the prints that she liked. I gave one to the person who bought the Chronically Fucked t-shirt towards the end of the day, because I was like, you know what, have the little bag. And then I gave one to my friend Annie, who came and bought stuff as well, and was not prepared to take stuff home in her car. So I was like, have a bag. So I'm glad I brought the bag. A lot of the smaller bags I didn't really use. I think that's mostly just because a lot of my work that sold was laminated, so it's protected. A lot of people actually really liked that it was laminated as well, which I thought was quite interesting. Yeah, so I think it was a good time. We'll see when the next one is and if I go again. Let me know if you would like to see more or ask any questions about any of this. That if I haven't answered anything that you've had in mind, drop it in the comments down below. I'm happy to either respond there or add it to another video down the line. Please like the video for the algorithm. All of your comments also really help boosting me to more people, help a small creator and all that jazz. We're inching so close to like 700 subscribers and I'm just like, subscribe to the channel. You can turn notifications on. You don't have to. I hate notifications, so I totally get it. I totally get it. I don't watch most videos as soon as they come out. I watch them later. It's fine. I get it. But yeah, share my videos as well. If you share them, that saves me a job. But also helps because you know your friends better than I do, love. But yeah, I think that's it for this video. I think maybe next week's video will be about my MRI. So have fun with that, because my MRI is tomorrow when I'm filming this and it's not going to be fun. I am on a diet today. I hate it. So bisexual finger guns. Yeah, I will see you next week. Bye.